Yo, what's up, my friends? How's it going? Patch notes are out. Feels good, man. Been waiting for those all night. Just came back home from the night shift and figured, um, you know, might as well stream that because I'm about to read it. So let's get going. So yeah, they released the map list. So Sulphur Vents, Haunted Mansion, Desert, Ivory Temple. So in theory, you could get the Mare divination card for that Putrid Cloister, I believe. Is it Mare divination card? Let's see. The Mayor. That gives Perendis Manor. Right. So you can farm tier 1 the Mare map now for those div cards. Juicy. Um, but yeah, not much outside of that. Um, tier 2 Glacier, Thicket, Alleyways, Lookout Barrows, Armory, nothing too insane. Leyline, Mausoleum, Flooded Mines, Wharf Pen. Pen, you got your 6 link Chains That Bind. Creator Cage, Chains That Bind as well. Grotto, Coward's Trial, and Waka Wiku are unique. Alright, so there's no unique tier 1. Apparently they put the uniques over here. Doriani's Machinarium is tier 6 rather than tier 4, whatever. Hall Grandmaster still tier 6. Maelstrom of Chaos tier 6, used to be tier 1, so feels good, man. A little bit better now. Vinctar Square, Promenade, Cells, Atoll. What happened to Burial Chambers used to be 6? Must have moved it. Residence, 6 link div card over here. Um, Spider Forest, Doctor. If you're into those kind of shenanigans. Racecourse now tier 7. Okay. Graveyard Vault tier 7. Potential shapeable map vault is with the exalted cards. Acton Nightmare. Used to be 12. Iceberg. Pit Ghetto. What's up, Liquid? Welcome, welcome. Dunes Factory. I guess, yeah. Perhaps we could put the chat over here. Can we do that? I guess we can do it until maybe like down at the bottom. There's gonna be. Wait, what? Where are the patch notes? Oh, the full patch notes are actually here. Okay, okay. So yeah. Um. So we stopped at tier 7, right? Pit. Chateau. Carcass Jack. Oh wait, yeah, I can do it because yeah. Let's just move it over here. Estuary tier 8. Olmec Sanctum, Perendis Manor, Pillars, Death and Taxes, tier 8. Arachnid Nest, Port, Villa. I'm looking for Burial Chambers. I could also do, you know. It's a tier 5 now. Okay, so you can shape to tier 11. Seems good. Tier 10s, let's take a look at the red maps. Infested Valley. Dig, Lair. Where did they put my Jungle Valley? Now it's a tier 5. Okay. Alright, also tier 5. Sepulchre, Core Ruins. Wow, that map is terrible. I hope they fixed it. Geode, Bauge, Plateau, Lava Chamber. Purger is also tier 10. Dig. Lair. Okay. So Lair is now 11. That's pretty decent, I think. It's got those fusing cards. Lava Lake is now downgraded to tier 12. Cool. Core tier 12. Used to be 13. Canyon 12. Don't like it. But yeah, it's just kind of like too open. What did they do with Temple? Plaza Terrace Reef, the Foul Cathedral, those are all 13s. Primordial Blocks 14. Orchard, Wasteland. Wasteland 14, really? Basilica, Dark Forest used to be 15. Val Temple, Forge of Phoenix, yeah. Palace is now 15, so we're gonna have Dominus on tier 15. Caldera, Summit, and Desert Springs. Wow. Kind of tough 15s, I gotta say. 15 Summit, that boss is brutal. Palace could be deadly. Desert Springs could totally be deadly as a 15. Acid Caverns. What's Acid Caverns? I think it's like a spider. Cool. Where's Wastepool? It's a tier 6 now. Okay. Toxic Sewers. It's a tier 8. Interesting. Alright, let's take a look at the actual full patch notes. Oh my god. This is going to be a while. We got a whole lot of shit to go through. Oh my god. Go and get some drinks. New Legion Challenge League. Major new content feature. We're gonna skip a bunch, obviously. Yeah. Overhaul melee combat. We know. New dexterity skill gem precision. Or there's a portion of mana grant your nearby allies accuracy. Added new strength skill gem berserk. Consume your rage at an accelerating rate. Okay. We're gonna see the new gems, no need to stop for everything. 12 new unique items, one of which was designed. Grab a beer. I don't know about a beer, it's 8 AM for me, so. But yeah. 12 uniques, 14 new divination cards, 18 new sextant mods, many of which will appear only on high tier maps. Reworked 5 existing uniques, which will only drop from monsters in the Legion Challenge League. 15 existing reworked uniques. 15 new keystones. "50 new keystones visible only when you have one of the new unique jewel. Minor new content and feature. Early game experience. You can now queue skills by using one skill while another skill is in progress. That skill will be used immediately after the current skill is finished." Okay. Added new functionality to the map stash tab, which displays which tiers and maps have Elder or Shaper influence. This is long overdue. I talked about it. Rage is now displayed. Yeah, we've seen the teaser. Added sound for various error cases. Attempting to equip an invalid item. Okay. Smoothing the transition between resolutions. Well, dynamic resolution. Okay. Here's side character. improved the performance. Great. Continue to increment. Yeah, sure. Melee rebalance. Made a massive, sweeping, excuse the pun, exchange to melee combat. Many of them are specific to skills, but some are broad and affect all aspects of melee combat. Hit multiple enemies. Yeah, we know. Animation canceling, directional attacks, we know. Attack signaling. Yeah, the enemies, yeah, attacks are going to be a bit better, you know, projected. Enormous improvements to how skilled target enemies in groups, which will result more natural, do what you want it to experience. Culmination of many small user experience improvement. Okay, combat's gonna be great. Accuracy no longer capped. Blocking enemies. Enemies with shields can block attacks, but will only prevent large portion of the incoming damage rather than full. Okay. When enemy blocks an attack, an effect will play. Better feedback. New effects and sounds allow you to more clearly identify who you have and have not hit with your attacks. Character balance. Melee damage is now treated as having dealt plus 25 damage for the sake of calculating stuns. Okay. Elemental and chaos damage is treated as having dealt minus 25% damage for the sake of stuns. This is additive with melee damage stun bonus, so purely elemental or chaos or non-mixed, non-physical melee hit will see no change to previous stun behavior. Alright. Your chance to hit with an attack no longer caps. Enough accuracy, you can guarantee that every attack will hit. That changes melee combat. The formula has been changed. It will be easier to hit and be hit. Yeah, we learned that already. Projectile now treated as having smaller collision size. No collision with regards of terrain than monsters. It should alleviate the frustration of casting freeze pulse. Yep, we know. Skill rework. Cyclone, now channeling, lacerate. It's previously slashes, yeah, I mean we covered Cyclone, right? Immortal Call, lacerate, slashes the air twice, dealing damage. Now has different behavior depending on whether you are in sand or blood stance, right? 25% chance to cause bleeding, and cause you to deal 50% more damage with bleeding at gem level 1, up to 80%, 88% more at 22. Seems good. Now deals base damage equal to and has added damage effectiveness of 100% at gem level 1, from 60% up to 123 at gem level 20, from 74. Now adds 5 to 8 fizz damage to attacks at gem level 1 up to 75 to 113. Okay, so as it seems, all the new like revamps are going to have added physical damage. Now has an attack speed multiplier of 60%. So 40% less. Molten Shell. Base duration, yeah. We learned that. Shield charge now deals damage in a cone rather than a circle on impact. Now has a minimum charge distance. Minimum charge distance can be used with wands. Shield charge? That's cool. Shield charge 45 with wands. Nice. Now deals base damage equal to, has added damage effectiveness. Yeah, pretty much, yeah. 75% increased stun threshold, reduction enemies maximum charge distance. 150% more damage with hits at maximum charge distance. Increased movement speed from 75 up to 109. Okay. So shield charge now has higher movement speed. Definitely with the wands going to be useful for, you know, easy fortify generation. Has mana cost of 10 at all gem levels. Oh, cool. 1% increased movement speed per gem quality, 1% per one quality. Previously 1% increased damage. Oh, so now we're going to have movement speed. Finally, thank you. Nobody wants damage for shield charge. It's purely a movement skill. It's about freaking time they changed it. And has some physical damage added, whatever. Cool. Nice. Physical is now a skill type and will appear on the appropriate gems as a tag. Okay. Strike is now a skill type as well and appears on items which do not have an area of effect but can still hit multiple targets. Essentially, all the previously single target skills now have this tag. Okay. This is used to determine which skills some support, such as melee splash support, can now support. Blink is a skill type and appears on Frostblink, Flame Dash, and Dash, and indicate that all of these skills share the same cooldown. Alright, Guard is also a skill type and appears on Immortal Call. Right. Melee skill. All melee skills now have an attack speed multiplier built into the gem. This functionality identical to the effects of more attack speed or less attack speed stat lines that were previously at some gems. Okay. All skills now considered travel, charge. Okay, so this is just like terminology stuff. Specific skills. Ancestral Protector received small buff of added damage effectiveness. This goes along with flat added damage of Abyssal Jewels nerf. So they're balancing Ancestral Call. What's up, Walker Dota? Welcome, welcome. Added damage effectiveness of 90% at gem level 1, up to 144. Alright, Ancestral Protector. Ancestral War Chief, also. This one actually, effectiveness went down a little bit. 110 from 100. It's kind of significant. Good morning, Eyes. Base Chaos Bane now was massively nerfed as promised. I don't know. Seems still freaking insane. Yeah, I mean, I'll reach Winter Orb. I know they nerfed it. No need to spam. Give me a copy paste of something I'll eventually reach. Obviously, it's broken. But yeah, it's not the only thing in this patch note. I have a long read. Blade Flurry. Deals base damage equal to... Okay. Blade Flurry got a small nerf, it seems. But they added physical damage to attacks at gem level. Like every single curious about Molten Strike, you can just if you're curious about something specific, you can just take a look at the patch notes, you know, and just Control F, and just find and read the specific one that you need. Patch notes, of course, on the website. Easy clap. So yeah, Bane was nerfed, but the nerf doesn't seem to be that significant, to be honest. It seems like it would still be insane But of course, you have to look at it in conjunction with other things, not just the damage number. But just like looking at the damage number here seems pretty reasonable. It was broken. Okay, so all the skills, all the attack skills, receive the physical damage bonus, which I don't know. It's a major buff across the board to all skills. Massive physical damage. 75 to 113 is actually pretty massive to each attack. When you scale that with your attack speed, with your crit, you know, some of those things are converted to elemental damage. You scale that too. It's actually 75 to 113. It's like, I don't know, adding depends on the weapon, but it's actually quite massive. It's a massive percentage that we didn't have before. So it looks like all attack skills across the board. Charge dash, damage equal to, and has added damage effectiveness of 95% gem level 1 up to 110. Now has an attack speed multiplier of 160 rather than 60% more attack speed. Okay. Isn't that the same though? Whatever. Consecrated path, nobody cares. Deals damage equal to, like, what's with this phrasing? Now deals base damage equals to and has added damage effectiveness of. It's an annoying thing to read. Right? 150 from 120 up to 184 from 174. Attack speed multiplier of 80%. I don't know what it used to be, but it looks like a small nerf, if I had to say. Maybe they just wanted to be more impactful, a bit slower attack that hits like a truck. But yeah, nothing too significant. Double strike. Small damage effectiveness. Added damage effectiveness is not like particularly relevant, I don't think. But yeah, across the board we see increases. Chance to cause bleed. 25% chance to cause bleed on double strike. That's nice. We didn't used to have it. Base damage equal to. Oh, 125 added damage for dual strike. Damage effectiveness from 58. Okay. Up to 170% at gem level 20 from 104. Increased crit chance at gem level 1. Oh, it also gives increased crit chance. More crit chance against enemies that are on full life. Wow. Dual strike seems insane. Crit multi and crit strike chance per one quality. Wow. This is actually very significant. It seems more damage with hits and elements against full life enemies. This is pretty interesting, dual strike is. Never played dual strike, but it looks pretty interesting. Small nerf to earthquake. I don't really understand why, but sure. Aftershock now benefits from 30 to... Okay, so 169 to 254 at gem level 20. That's pretty fucking massive. Radius of the Aftershock. Hey Azazel. Good. Reading some patch notes. Interesting. Increased physical damage, so instead of that we have increased damage per one gem quality. Increased damage or increased physical damage? Isn't that like exactly the same? Seems to me like it is. Now deals base damage. Man, that's an annoying way of phrasing words. 142 gem effectiveness from 130, 168 from 160, it's irrelevant. 50% chance to gain frenzy on hit, okay. Provides movement speed for 3 seconds. It's actually Flicker Strike, so we don't care. I hate that skill. Deals base damage. Yeah, Frenzy, whatever. That's kind of irrelevant. Nobody's gonna play Frenzy, right? 5% more attack damage and more attack speed. Seems pretty insane though. But I don't know. It needs a bit like added physical, I think. Even though these are pretty big, instead of increase, you're getting the more multiplier. I don't know. Could be interesting. But it's too auto-attacky, too generic. I think lacks character. Frostblades. Unchanged. Okay, damage effectiveness is unchanged. See, that I don't like. Like, why is this cold damage and not physical? Like, I guess it makes sense because Frostblades. And some people just want to stack cold damage, flat cold damage, and not necessarily scale their physical and convert to cold. But it's basically physical 50% converted to cold, and like people take the, you know, the conversion nodes on the tree. Should be buffed to 25-25 instead of 20-20, by the way, but that's a different topic. Glacial Hammer adds cold damage as well, same values. Every third successive strike now freezes enemies as if it were dealing 500% more damage. Huh? What do you mean as if though? I don't know. Double strike? Yeah, it looks interesting. Ground slam, physical damage. All the attack skills have flat physical damage added to them, just straight across the board. But nothing really stands out outside of it was double strike with the crit. No, no, it was dual strike, not double, but dual strike with all the crit. Seems pretty cool. Ground slam, physical damages, small increases to effectiveness, whatever. With heavy strike, nothing too insane. +2 melee range at gem level 1. So heavy strike is going to have some extra range. Some nice quality of life. It's going to make it feel better. Chance to deal double damage, 20% chance. That's very significant. That's actually very significant because it's straight up 20% more damage. When you have 20% chance to deal double damage, that means, you know, half a more multiplier support right there. Ice Crash increases in damage effectiveness again. Big added cold damage. Attack speed multiplier of 70%. Previously had 20% less attack speed, so now it has 30% less attack speed. Gains increased damage, cold damage per gem quality. Okay. Infernal Blow. Effectiveness went up a little bit. 5 to 8. Okay, so flat added fire damage. Lancing Steel. Can no longer shotgun. RIP. Not like anybody played it before that, so I don't know. Did anybody ever play Lancing Steel? And now, since it cannot shotgun, it's crap. Leap Slam. 10 mana from 15. That's all I see. It's a movement skill. Lightning Strike. Damage effectiveness slightly increased. Like, what do you even do with 135 from 130? I mean, do you even, does it even, it doesn't even matter. I don't know, with the lightning flat added, I would expect something a bit higher because of the variance in lightning. I would expect something like 9 to 290 or something like that. That seems 179 a bit low compared to some of the other skills, because the minimum damage roll is much, much higher. So you want the average to be roughly the same. Maybe. Okay. Unchanged effectiveness, slightly nerfed. Molten Strike, damage effectiveness slightly nerfed. But fire damage added. Requires that you hit an enemy in order to produce projectiles. Oh, and split the number of projectile it produces evenly among all targets. Okay, projectile now deal 50% less damage at all levels, from 40% to 30%. Oh, okay. That's pretty massive. Damage over time from projectile now deal 50% less damage. Okay, another massive nerf. +2 melee range at level 1 from 0 up to +6. That's nice. So overall, I don't know how to classify that, but I don't know. I don't know, it's hard to tell. On one hand, Molten Strike, pretty iconic skill. Looks like it's kind of unchanged, but because you're getting that less, you know, that's much higher. Across all levels, you're getting 50% less damage at all levels. But on the other hand, you're getting flat fire damage that you didn't get before at gem level 20, so could end up being just the same. But it requires that you hit an enemy in order to produce projectiles. So you can't just stand, you know, near an enemy and use your ancestral call like before and like hit multiple times. So that is no longer a thing. It looks like a nerf though. But I mean, it's kind of OP broken, so it's still going to be OP broken because your sustain is going to be infinite. Puncture. What's puncture? What the fuck? What the fuck is puncture, guys? Anybody ever played puncture? What's that bullshit? I'm gonna skip it. Reeve. Puncture. What the fuck? Okay, no, let's read it. Damage effectiveness went by 35%, whatever. Flat added damage, 30% more damage with bleeding. Okay, attack multiplier. Yeah, I know what puncture is, dude. I know. I'm just kidding because nobody ever plays it. But I wanted to read it anyways to see if there's something like insane happening. It doesn't look like it. It looks like it's still crap. Reeve. It's not necessarily a bow. It could be used with daggers, knives, whatever, swords, blade type things. Reeve. Effectiveness went up slightly. Doesn't matter because they nerfed the jewels. And it doesn't gain flat physical. Now loses stages incrementally after a short period without hitting anything, rather than all at once. So it's slightly better, but it doesn't receive, comparably to every other single attack skill, flat added damage. So might be shite. It's not a projectile. Puncture is not necessarily a projectile. But yeah, it doesn't matter. It's a dead skill. Riposte. See, I don't understand this skill, but I never really understood what this thing even does. Excuse me. But now it has some massive flat damage to attacks. Sure, Shattering Steel. A lot of attack skills have less multiplier, less attack speed multiplier. See, 80%, 85%, and so on. Attack speed multiplier of 70%. I guess I don't know, Berserker received massive attack speed and other stuff as well, so they think perhaps they can, you know, balance it out. Never played a smite. Base damage equal to effectiveness went up. Reasonable amount. +4. Radius gem level 20 from +6. Oh shit. Massive nerf, it seems. Soul Rend. Projectile now has a radius of 10 from 13. Soul Rend. Okay. That's it? No damage nerf? Radius of 10. Down from 13. Interesting. Radius. What's the radius even mean? Projectile radius? I'm not entirely sure what this stat even means. Like, I don't know if it matters at all. Spectral shield throw. Do I even read this? Now deals 18 to 27 base offhand fist damage, gem level 1. Up to 182 to 272 from... Okay. So they buffed the Spectral Shield throw. Fires more projectiles on shield impact as the skills level up to 13 from 8 at all levels. It had to be hitbox around the projectile. It has to be the hitbox around the projectile. What do you mean by that? Hitbox is like the target around. I don't know. I don't think what. I'm not sure even what the stat even means. Projectile radius. Potentially. Yeah, the door thing, but I don't know. I don't think so. Maybe. I don't know. They said they're going to nerf the actual damage, but they didn't. Spectral Shield Throw might actually be decent, you know? Fires more projectile and shield impact. So it fires more projectile up to 13 at gem level 20 from 8 at all levels. That's really good. You know, it's really good for clear. Has base offhand attack time of 0.7. Basically down from 0.65 down to 0.6 from 0.56. So slight nerf to attack speed here as well. Spectral Throw now deals base damage equal to... Okay, damage effectiveness went up, small buff, but I still dislike this skill. Static Strike, small buff, chains an additional time. Static Strike now gains a chain. Boohoo. Stormbrand. Cast time of 0.75. Okay, massive nerf to cast speed of Stormbrand. See, this I don't like. Nerf the damage. When you nerf the cast speed like that, you just make the skill feels bad. You know, so it's not going to be a desirable skill. Because 0.1 less cast time is quite substantial when you want to stack 5. So like to ramp up initially, it's not gonna feel good. Kind of insignificant, you know, change. Just make the skill feels bad and not necessarily changes the overall clear speed. I don't like it. Effectiveness activates every 0.6 while attached. Activates every 0.6 seconds while attached. Okay, so the proc coef basically went down substantially. That's a massive nerf. Wow. Okay, so this skill seems like it's dead. 10% smaller base radius of area of effect for dealing damage. Wow, that's crap. Multiple Stormbrands can no longer shotgun enemies with their overlap areas of effect. That sucks. Now deals 3 to 8. From 75 to 225. So 75 to 225. Tiny little bit of lightning damage, but that's insignificant. 80% more damage. The bandit enemies up to 130. A gem level 20. Now deals 80% more damage to the branded enemy at gem level 1, up to 130% more damage at gem level 20 from 50%. This is interesting. I'm not sure. This line right here, kind of hard to understand if it's like an overall insane buff compared to every little thing that we see here, or it's just to evens out, or what's going to be. It's if it's the skill, because like this, I don't know. It's kind of hard to tell, but it looks like a massive nerf overall. Sunda deals base damage, yada yada. Damage effectiveness increase, okay. Effective length of 60 from 48. Nice, because it was shit before and people didn't play it. And attack speed multiplier of 75%. Previously had 15% less attack speed. So another nerf to attack speed here, but that's okay. Deals base damage, sweep. Massive damage effectiveness increase. But again, I mean, damage effectiveness increase is not going to matter too much. Because like jewel stacking went down substantially, so you're not going to be getting too much off of it. So I guess that's why they're just like increasing a whole bunch of stuff. And of course the traditional physical damage to attacks. So they've added like a whole bunch of damage. Tectonic Slam. Let's see. Up damage effectiveness. No physical damage. No fire damage added. And less attack speed modifier. Length of fissure is slightly higher. The length of secondary fissure is slightly lower. The width is slightly lower, so less area of effect it seems. Lengthier but less girthy, and overall more damage effectiveness. Vengeance. Got some buff, nobody cares. Vigilant Strike, nobody cares. Viper Strike. Damage effectiveness. Whoa. Thank you for the follow there, man. Welcome. Actually, don't even have my thingy. The what's it called? I don't know. Let me open this notification. I wasn't expecting any alerts to pop off at all. I wasn't expecting anybody to be here, to be honest. What's up, Ashley? Welcome. Thank you for the follow. Let's get back to the news. Yeah, okay, so Viper Strike converts 50% of physical to chaos. Oh, that's cool. That's actually pretty massive. But, I mean, yeah, you still gotta find a way to convert 50% of physical to chaos to go full chaos. And it adds a massive chaos damage to attacks, so that's pretty sweet. And damage effectiveness went down up to 130%. So overall like 12% nerf, whatever. But when you level up the gem, it adds a whole bunch of chaos damage, which is pretty good. Increase attack speed, increase poison duration per quality. Okay, poison duration, whatever. I don't know if this changes enough. Basically Viper Strike received a pretty massive chaos damage, and the conversion is actually quite massive. Viper Strike might actually be a very good chaos attack skill now, but still gonna suck against a single target is what I project. But yeah, girth is everything. Very, very true. War Banner now grants up to from 59. Okay. Increased accuracy from 40% down to 15. Up to 21, down from 60. Whoa! Rip the War Banner accuracy bonus, whatever. Warlord's Mark now allow you to leech life and mana from cursed enemies with attack only, rather than from any sources of damage. This is shit. I don't know if you guys know about it, but remember the good old classic Mark of the Shaper plus Elder Warlord's Mark ring? Forget about it. It's a Fugazi now. So, rip, we're gonna have to find other ways to leech because, yeah, you gotta use attacks in order to leech life and mana from Warlord's Mark, which is rendering Warlord's Mark completely crap shit because you pick up a couple of points on the tree and you get leech and you don't have to waste your one curse typically for, you know, Warlord's Mark, because like why would you ever do that? You want other curses like, you know, elemental weakness, whatever, and feeble, temp chains, many powerful curses are out there, and there's no real reason ever for any attack build to use Warlord's Mark, so that renders it completely useless. Instead, now we're going to have to use, you know, Shaper mods or Temple mods like lightning damage leached as life. If you're a spellcaster, right, and you're using lightning, you're going to need to use something like that on an amulet. We're going to need to use mana flasks essentially if we want, you know, to get mana. Mind over matter, or we can use the whole energy leech and Eldritch Battery combo that we've been using and reserve all of our mana completely, and use Mind over Matter for, you know, shield with Energy Leech, which is going to be the way people go about, you know, using their skills. What that means, however, is that we're going to have a problem getting Arcane Surge. That's always the problem when you have when you're using your energy shield to cast your spells. You cannot use Arcane Surge, which is an insane bonus to your spell damage, more spell damage, and cast speed, which is really strong. So if you want that, we cannot use Arcane Surge if we go this way, unless we get the Watcher's Eye that gives you Arcane Surge while affected by. But that's kind of sucks. I mean, I don't know. I think my casters are pretty much going to be Mind over Matter with Mana Flask like Lavianga's or whatever, or just a catalyzed Eternal Dowsing Flask for mana sustainability with Mind over Matter. And when it comes to Life Leech, just going to have to rely on some, you know, a little bit of regen and some life flasks, I guess, because for the most part, I mean, life leech is not that necessary overall. From my own experience, I mean, you don't really need it. No like hexproof maps. If you guys remember, just a couple of days ago we pushed 99. By the way, rank 6 confirmed on that leaderboard. You know, with the Divine Ire Guardian, and you know, I was using Warlord's Mark Ring on that character on that build, but I played plenty of no leech and hexproof maps, and I was doing just fine. So Warlord's Mark is not something that you really kind of like need, but it's definitely something that's nice to have for additional sustainability. But now it sucks. It simply sucks. It's a pretty stupid change that I didn't see coming, and I didn't see that it was needed, because if you think about it, there are plenty of ways, as I just mentioned, to get your mana, but then you get stuck without Arcane Surge if you want to go. Thank you for the follow, by the way. But then you get stuck without Arcane Surge, which is a massive spell damage bonus. Like it's ridiculous. So you know, and if you want to use Arcane Surge as your main setup for the more multiplier and the cast speed, then you cannot use you know, Eldritch Battery. So that's a big deal, right? So if you think about it, when you use a Warlord's Mark on hit, you know, Elder Ring with Mark of the Shaper combo, I mean, you can still use the Elder Ring. It doesn't need to be Warlord's Mark, but now you sacrifice a whole lot because you could use, temp chains on cast when damage taken and feeble. You could use elemental weakness or, frostbite, conductivity, whatever, to lower your enemy's resistances to your elements if you're spellcasting, right? So you're sacrificing a whole lot essentially just to get a sustainable way to use mana and a sustainable way to use Arcane Surge, which is a gem that they revamped just last league, so they want people to use it. So like, what are you doing here? It seems like some sort of a contradiction here. I don't understand it. I don't like it. I don't like it at all. It's a very, very bad thing. And if you look at it again, if you're an attack build, you pick up a couple of nodes from the tree. You don't ever use Warlord's Mark because Curse is a massive tool that you want to have, and you don't want it anyways as an attack build. So this gem will see no use next patch, unless you haven't heard, and yeah, you still use it, and then you don't understand why you can't leech. Whirling Blades. Nobody cares. Wild Strike. Gem effectiveness seems okay. So basically, with the nerfs to up and coming, flat added damage from Abyssal Jewels, that renders Wild Strike completely useless. And this 9%, at gem level 20 gem effectiveness makes it complete crap, because when you nerf the overall flat added damage numbers across the board substantially, like they noted there will be doing for Abyssal Jewels, you pretty much make Wild Strike completely useless, because the only way to even use Wild Strike is with stacking Abyssal Jewels. Like, that's pretty much the only way. And the small damage effectiveness doesn't make up for the lack of Abyssal Jewels. And outside of that, unlike the rest of the attack skills, Wild Strike didn't receive flat added damage like the rest of the melee skills used to. Give me a second. All right. Winter Orb. Deals 30 to 37 cold damage, gem level 1. Wait, it deals more damage at gem level 1? Up to 232. So irrelevant. Changes to the actual damage. Base duration is now 1.2 seconds from 0 base duration. Building solely on stages. Now states that increases and reduction in cast speed now also apply to projectile frequency. Actual behavior is unchanged. Okay. 20% reduced target acquisition range. Fires projectile every 1.6 seconds from every 0.8 seconds. Fires 25% increased duration per stage from 0.4. Now has 100% more projectile frequency while channeling. So the way that they want you to play Winter Orb is to basically channel in order for you to gain projectiles. They don't want you to channel a couple seconds, run the entire map, zoom, zoom, kill everything. The actual damage wasn't nerfed, but gaining stages here was substantially nerfed. Where is it? They literally doubled the projectile firing. So from 0.8 every 1.6 seconds. This is kind of massive, okay? So they want you to actual stand and channel. That's how they want you to play, which is good news for me, because that means that my actual let me show you that this actual build right here is in fact I happen to have a Castwall channeling Ice Spear Winter Orb. So a build like this, when I'm actually channeling, Castwall channeling with Ice Spear and Winter Orb, is still going to be as broken as it is right now. And this used to be one of my favorite, if not one of my favorite builds overall. Right now there's no projectiles firing because, well, there are no monsters. But you can get the idea. They just pretty much want you to sit there and channel. Let me get back to the things. Seems good. It's not going to be a thing of the past. It's just they don't want you to right click and then run the entire map. It was pretty broken, and I'm happy they killed it in the way it was played. But it's still a very viable skill. It's still a very strong skill. Feels pretty good. But yeah. Vaal skill balance. Now there's Vaal Cyclone. Has an attack speed multiplier. Now adds fizz damage. Modifiers to melee attacks now also apply a skill area buff. Okay. Vaal Double Strike. Deals damage equal to yada yada. Small nerf. Chance to cause bleeding. Whatever. Vaal Earthquake. Okay. Massive added damage to Vaal Earthquake. Vaal Glacial Hammer. That's a new one. Convert 60% of fizz to cold. Wasn't it already a thing? Cold damage to attacks. Increased effect of chill. Every strike now freezes enemy as if it were dealing 500% more damage. Okay. Every strike, not every third strike. Like this. Okay, gotcha. Vaal Immortal Call. What? Now instants can still it can still no longer be obtained from drops or corruption. It can still no longer be obtained from drops or corruption and will receive a full rework in the future. Vaal Lightning Strike. Add some damage. Vaal Molten Shell. I don't want to read that. I don't care. Let's read it. Additional armor. Yada yada. Buff that can take damage equals 6% of the armor. Okay. Now causes 8% of damage from hits to be taken on the buff before your life or energy shield. The saying you can't get it. Yeah. There's going to be a Vaal Immortal Call. It's not existing in the game just yet. 4-second cooldown, just cooldown. Yeah, it doesn't matter. Vaal Reeve. I don't think I'm ever going to use Molten Shell or Immortal Call in the way that they want me to use it. I like to spam my buttons. I want to play mindlessly. Seems pretty useless. I don't know what they're trying to do. Maybe it's going to be good for like console players or something. Console players are not like keyboard, you know, they have an actual controller. So I believe this is, you know, going to fit their kind of like play style. But when you have a keyboard, you're just smashing the buttons and you run. You know, you pretty much, yeah. You're not going to start like, in order for Immortal Call and Molten Shell to work the way they want it to work, or the way they indicate they want it to work, they basically need to slow down the entire pace of the game for you to have like a meaningful period of time to, you know, foresee an attack off of a boss. And it's like just not particularly realistic. So I mean, I don't even understand what they're trying to do. It's like they try to create a different type of playstyle, but their game is not really compatible with how the playstyle they want can actually work. So it doesn't make sense to me. I don't understand it. But perhaps I'm wrong. Perhaps I'm just imagining it in a wrong way, and when it actually, you know, you actually try it and hey, it actually makes sense. I don't think so, but maybe. You know what I mean? I don't think so, but maybe. Melee Splash. Now creates melee splash for each enemy hit, meaning if your strike attack hits multiple enemies, they can also each hit each other with their overlapping splashes. Wow, that's insane. If your strike hits multiple enemies, which it will, if you look at like, you know, lacerate or whatever, any attack basically. Wow, melee splash is actually insane now, it seems. Wow, 50% less damage. Um, yeah, it seems insane. Now grants more splash area of effect up to 57% at gem level 20. Now has mana multiplier of 140, so less mana cost. Grant support skills 35% more attack speed, down from 75 up to 44, down from 94. Wow, that's a huge amount of less attack speed. Now causes the first repeat to deal 40% more damage at gem level 1, up to 50% at gem level 20. Now causes the second repeat to deal 80% more damage. So they want us to basically deal what seems to be like the same amount of damage. They're giving us a massive nerf to the attack speed of multi-strike, and they mentioned it in the manifesto. They talked about multi-strike. They said that, you know, huge attack speed has some performance issues and desync stuff and whatever. And instead, we're going to get bonuses for the second and the third repeat of multi-strike that are going to compensate. So you're going to be hitting harder, but your multi-strike is going to look less, you know, frenzy. Insane. So, support gem balance. We've changed the way supports, which try to do different things to different skill gems at the same time. Work by splitting the different effects up. This results in some extra lines on some support gems, but the functionality will remain the same and will prevent unintuitive behavior in the future, such as the case in 3.6, where Cast While Channeling prevented Arcane Surge from supporting the channeling spell due to it making both channeling spell and non-channeling skills is supporting count as triggered. Okay, Fortify. I don't know, do we want to read it? I think they increased the duration or something. Oh no, okay, so Fortify now basically used to have an increased damage to support gems, but now is more reliable. This is an interesting change. Okay, so if you're an attack skill, Fortify is now a more appealing choice. Basically, they made it so that instead of a 44% increase, you're going to get up to 34% more at gem level 20, which makes it a pretty solid more multiplier for your main setup while getting more Fortify, and you can pretty much use it on every melee attack skill because it's a pretty massive more multiplier there. It's not going to be like as insane as, I don't know, Elemental Focus or whatever, you know, Conk Effect that can go up to like 50, but it's still a very, very solid one, and you could have more reliable Fortify. Increased Fortify duration as well compared to what it used to be. And more damage with bleeding and poison caused by melee hit at gem level 1. So if you're doing some sort of a bleed build, Fortify is like a must-have because you're bleed or poison. Because not only you're getting 34% more, you're basically it seems like what they tried to make Arcane Surge do for spells, Fortify kind of like does for attacks. Infused channeling support now works correctly with a few physical gem types, no longer implicitly provide a reduction to physical damage taken, and will only provide each reduction while channeling a skill with physical gem tag. Okay. Lesser poison went up. Lesser poison went up in damage. Mirage Archer no longer causes skills it uses to vanish at the end of duration. Those skills will persist until they're finished doing whatever they're doing. Okay. Poison, so quality of life change. Poison support now causes supported skill to deal no more damage with poison at gem level 1 up to 28% at gem level 20. Seems useless if you have other sources of chance to poison. But if you don't, then could be useful, but I don't know. Ruthless. Causes ruthless blows. Its supported skill to deal 75% more melee damage. Unchange up to 132 from 113. Small buff there. Ruthless blows. 132. So damage with melee, damage bleeding. Seems good. Ruthless is buffed. GG. Summon Phantasm on kill. Rename to Summon Phantasm support. Alright. Passive tree balance. Wicked Ward. So Wicked Ward used to be the energy shield, occultist node in the tree. Now it's a keystone near the witch. Blood magic, mortal conviction. Don't know what that does. Overcharge, and the preceding small passive has been moved to behind the conduit. Okay, so when the tree is actually, like, reading this right now is probably not going to be too beneficial to anyone, because, I mean, whatever, it's just names. You need to actually look at the tree. There's probably going to be later comparable trees from 3.6 and 3.7 where you could actually look. Those should be out at a certain point later today. Ascendancy balance, we're pretty much seeing everything in the ascendancies, right? It was already revealed. Okay, no longer cause elemental ailments from a skill to spread to other nearby enemies. Shocks from your hits now always increase damage by 15%. So they remove the shock effectiveness like they said they would, and they remove the proliferation like they said they would. Elementalist without proliferation equals why even play when you could actually just play Scion and get the elemental reflect and the penetration and the buff effects off of your heralds and pick Raider and get your free onslaught, free frenzy charges, movement speed, and some chance to dodge. So why even play elementalist? I never liked it anyways. Guardian. Each of the small passives on Guardian Ascendancy now grants 50% increased energy shield, 5% increased energy shield from 6, so nerfed. Whatever. Trickster was changed, small nerfs across the board, but it was kind of broken. Still very, very sick though. Fast and Deadly. Ascendant, Berserker. Chieftain, Champion, Gladiator. Chance to Impale for Champion. Apply Covered in Ash. Okay, and increased fire damage. Sure. Berserker. 50% more damage. Okay, maximum rate of... I mean... lackluster. Seems. Gladiator no longer grants chance to cause bleeding, and instead have 50% chance to block. Does not require another source of block. And 10% chance to blind on hit with attacks. Does not require that the enemy be bleeding. Also deal 25% more damage with bleeding, up from 15%. Okay. Item balance. Alright, let's see. Many low-level melee weapon base types have their base attack speed raised and their damage lowered. To compensate, the following staves can no longer roll spell. Yeah, we've seen those. Following daggers, renamed to rune daggers. So basically, they split the daggers. Some of them are going to be able to roll spell mods. The others will not. The rune daggers will be able to roll spell mods. The other are going to be attack mod, based. Orb of Horizons can drop from monsters and other currency sources such as Emperor's Luck. Sweet. Like, you ever get anything other than 5 augments in an Emperor's Luck? Fuck that shit. But yeah, adjusted the drop rate of certain items which were there many hunters. Haha. Yeah, rip headhunters. The drop rate of certain items which there were many hunters. Sure. Dense fossils can no longer craft. Um, Increased armor, evasion, or energy shield suffix modifiers, and now has new mods can craft each slot. The dense modifier. Yeah, okay. So basically, they nerfed energy shield across the board from dense fossils because it was broken. Divine vessel is now 1 by 1 rather than 1 by 2. Parentis scarabs can now cause Kadir Parentis to appear. Thank you. I've been talking about it for ages. Russet scarabs have 30% chance to Kadir appearance. Seems good. Polished 66. And Gilded has guaranteed Kadiro. I don't know if that was necessary, but sure. Values of life, mana, and ES on Abyssal Jewels have been reduced. And top tiers made rarer. Yeah, we've seen it in the manifesto. What else? Added damage of all types. We've seen this on the manifesto. Abyssal Jewels were substantially nerfed. The higher tier are much harder to get, and flat added damage is nerfed across the board, which, you know, rip. But Stygian Vice Belt is still going to be best in slot, so it's still going to be better. Because if you can get flat any kind of flat added damage is more damage, you can get life on it anyways, right? So, or energy shield. Top 2 tiers of added elemental damage from melee weapons have had their damage increased by about 10% for tier 2, and 40% for tier 1. Okay, all added damage modifiers on two-handed weapons now 160%, and of the values of their one-hand counterparts, this takes the new higher values at the top end into account, even they are 160% of their one-handed versions. Alright, added new top tier modifier for added fire damage, added cold damage, added lightning damage. These are available on items with eye level 82 or greater. So yeah, another tier of added elemental damage for rare weapons. The highest tier added elemental damage modifiers for weapons are now rarer, and it will be approximately as difficult to get 3 tier 1 elemental damage rolls as tier 1 fizz damage rolls. Alright. Rip. Weapon specific increased fizz damage modifiers on jewels now apply on all damage types, not just physical. This affects existing jewels with these modifiers. The values have not changed. So instead of increased physical, it's just going to be increased damage. So yeah. Reduce the amount of energy shield granted by synthesized implicit on body armor, shields, helmets, gloves, and boots. This won't affect you unless you decide to use Blessed Orb, which in this case it will definitely affect you. The hybrid. Okay, so don't use Blessed Orbs on your synthesized legacy items because synthesis is gone for now. Don't use Blessed Orbs, in which case it will definitely affect you. The hybrid increased physical damage and accuracy modifiers now grant more accuracy. Existing items with these modifiers can be updated. Divine Orb. The pure accuracy modifiers now grant more accuracy than previously, and there are fewer tiers. Existing items with these modifiers can be updated with Divine Orb. The Immortal Call enchantment, which previously granted chance not to consume endurance charge, now grants increased Immortal Call duration per endurance charge consumed. This effect items that had the previous enchantments. Unique item balance. No longer drop outside Legion challenge leagues. Okay. Version drops in Legion will have new modifiers and balance, which we won't be spoiling here, bearing changes that affect existing version, which will not be outlined below. Which will be outlined below. I'm like, The items are items? Okay, so there are changes to these items that will not be spoiled here. So, you know, pay attention when you drop these items. Overwhelming odds no longer grants increased area of effect for cleave, and now grants +1 cleave radius for each nearby enemy up to +10. Wow. That's very nice for map clear, obviously. Montegral graph now clearly states how damage dealt by exploding zombies is calculated. Note that this does not change the functionality. In other words, still crap. Hyri's Truth now causes precision to have 50% less mono reservation. Hyri's Truth, what is that? Not entirely sure. I think it's like a pair of boots or something. Precision is like an aura that gives accuracy, but yeah, it's like really niche item. That's hand. Impulsa's Broken Heart now has 15 to 25. Existing version can be updated using Divine Orb. Increased effect of shock. Alright. Prismatic Eclipse. Has flat. Okay. Ridgewall's Charge. Accuracy. Peregrine. Accuracy changes. Accuracy. Changes to Legion themed unique. And affect existing items. Pledge of Hands, Spell Echo, yeah, we've seen that one teased. Lavianga's Wisdom. Not entirely sure which one is that. Mori Urki fixed a bug which prevented a mod from displaying, though it was always there. Mod grants minus 100 accuracy. Note that this is not a functional change, it reduces accuracy, it has been there. Okay, whatever, we're not going to play Ground Slam with this weapon anyways. Whatever, Dark Scorn, whatever. World changes. Where's the Zana mods? Are we anywhere near the end? Yeah, we are. Seems good. We are. There is our design amounts. Okay. World changes. Over Path of Exile Life, we slowly shifted for more power to earlier in the game. For example, you now get strong support gem on the starting beach rather than getting your first in Merveil's Cavern. As a result, the difficulty of the early acts slowly become easier and easier. In this patch, we have made targeted efforts to bring some of the difficulty back to the first 3 acts. Alright, Act 1, 2, and 3 have seen significant improvements to monster and boss encounters. We won't ruin the fun of discovering them, so be careful out there. You'll no longer hear a crying woman in Act 7 crossword tempting you towards non-existent story glyphs. Alright. Swap Navali, Seek Prophecy, and view your prophecies. Talk options to prevent misclicking while selling. Incursion changes. It now requires 12 separate incursions to enter the Temple of Otsuatl, up from 11. This gives you an extra attempt to upgrade or change your room before you enter the Temple of Alva. This is awesome. I was talking about it. Wow, man, I was like legit talking about it. How like substantially better it would be if we get one more incursion. It's like substantially better. It's like insane. Just one more incursion. I was begging for it. I love incursions. That's actually great. I was. I was. You were here for... yeah, man, I'm talking about the game all the time. Betrayal changes. Betrayal fortification counters are now prioritized over shrines during level creation, meaning you should more reliably get the betrayal encounters you're expecting. Okay. You'll now encounter a new monster type in some fortification encounters. No nerf to their damage, like come on, hello, they're broken, break them. Maelstrom Call, unique strongbox. Now also drop divination card that gives Shaper or Elder items as well as cards, certain stack size, whatever. Azerite Mine and Sulfite changes. Improve the way delve map layouts are generated to allow for longer delves when necessary. The Ancient Wraith and Ancient Suffering monsters can now be desecrated while in the appropriate delve area. That's not much of a change at all. That's not what I was expecting, but hey. Prophecy changes. Items that drop exclusively from prophecy-generated monsters can now drop from all prophecy-generated monsters rather than a small subset. Nobody cares, but sure. Map changes. The Atlas of World has been shuffled, as per usual. Most maps have changed tier and location within the Atlas, you can now unlock a specific 5th slot in the map device. Sweet! Added 3 new tormented spirits found via sextants. Added 2 new shrines found via sextants. You no longer have to pay Val orbs equal to cost of Chaos orbs to apply Zana's crafting modifiers to corrupted maps. What? This is pretty huge. Okay, let's read that again. You no longer have to pay Val orbs equal to the cost of Chaos orbs to apply Zana's crafting modifiers to corrupted maps. Alright, rip Val orb value? Because that's pretty much the only, like, what are you going to use Val orbs now for? I don't know. So, I guess, yeah, now it's just chaos, but like, what's the use of Val orbs now? Because a lot of them still drop if you don't require to operate like the map device with Val orbs equal to the amount of chaos from the Zana map mods. Then basically that means we always Val our maps, because there's basically no downside to it outside of occasionally not be able to play a map, which is kind of a small price to pay. So we basically Val everything. What's up, Corruptio Tabula, the first 5 hours, dude, what are you talking about? What's up, Durf? Welcome. Hey. Let's see. Shaper Stronghold. Wait. Map bosses at lower map tiers have slightly more life. Tapering to no difference at map 15. What is tapering? Not sure. Becoming thinner or narrower. Okay. Okay. To no difference at okay. So slowly kind of like becoming to no difference. So the higher tier you go, the less HP bosses have compared to the current patch. Whatever. But early in the league, when you first get into maps, bosses are going to be a bit more difficult, a bit more tanky. Yeah, Shaper Strongholds now always contain additional monsters and anomalies, as well as bonus effect at random. Shaper Influence maps now always contain additional monsters. Thank you! Monster packs in Shaper Influence maps with anomalies now have 20% chance to spawn with an anomaly, down from 50%. Thank you! These anomalies now spawn a pack of monsters on death, which grant items experience when slain. Sweet! Agents of the Void from Shaper Influence maps now spawn monsters on death, which grant items experience when slain. Thanks. White and yellow tier Shaper Influence maps can no longer spawn Shaper clones. Basically what it means is that we're going to get a big balance towards Shaper Influence maps. Before, it was the Elder Influence maps. We always wanted to get the Elder Blob so that we can rotate Shaper Elder, so that we could play the Elder, and that would be substantially better from Shaper. But now we're getting a shitload of additional content on Shaper Influence maps, so pretty sweet. White and yellow tier Shaper Influence maps can no longer spawn Shaper clones which attack you. Red tier Shaper Influence maps now have 25% chance for Shaper clone encounters. In addition, so the Shaper clones are the one that throw balls, right, and appear here and there, so 25% chance for those to appear on red tier maps. In addition to other Shaper Influence mechanics. Sweet. Elder Influence maps now always contain additional monsters. Now the question I have is, what happens if it's an Elder Influence map, but it is a Guardian map, or an actual Elder map, right? Because what used to happen was, they nerfed it substantially, because people would spawn Elder and then just grind over and over bossless runs on these maps until Elder expired or whatever. So what does that mean? Are we going to get, because the portals were just so OP, still are. White and yellow tier Elder Influence maps can no longer spawn Elder Slam tentacles. Red tier Elder Influence maps can now have 25% chance for Elder Slam tentacle, in addition to other influence mechanics. The entirety of the Coward's Trial map has been redone, thank you. If you're lucky enough to get one, make sure you use it. Okay, so it's going to be a pretty rare fucking map, it seems, if that's what they say. The boss fight of the Graveyard map has been completely reworked. Graveyard is Grothkul, right? Completely reworked. Interesting and scary. Improved the Belfry and Lava Lake fights. Extra monsters are now spawning through the fight. Yeah, but there's still a whole lot of phases. So they talked about it in the, I'm not particularly happy about it. Basically, what I wanted them to do is to, drop a phase, because there's like 3 phases, or maybe even 4 phases of the Belfry and Lava Lake, which is the Kitava fight, right? The Belfry is the Kitava Act 5, Lava Lake is the Kitava Act 10, and there's like 3 or 4 phases there. They need to drop a phase and make the fight shorter to make the boss actually worth killing, because otherwise it's pretty much bullshit. Like, who's gonna do that? Who's gonna do that? Who is gonna do that? Like, it's just not worth doing. Especially now that Lava Lake is like tier 12, so you're not gonna be, outside of killing the boss like one time to get the completion bonus on your Atlas, there's no reason for you to do it anyway, because the fight takes too long. Even with a little bit of minions, still not gonna be worth entering there. Even with extra monsters, like whatever. Both these fights should feel significantly more rewarding for the time invested. I don't know. I'm gonna try it, but I don't believe it. The Barrows map boss fight has been improved. The Beast of the Pits now extra vulnerable for damage after colliding with the wall. It now has more life, cannot be stunned, knocked back, or interrupted while charging. Sweet. It's like a bear that charges and gets stuck in the wall, and kind of like, yeah. So I guess it cannot be stunned. The boss fight in the Gardens map has been completely reworked. Monsters spawn during the phase transitions will grant... What is Gardens? Gardens. Isn't that like the peacock? Completely reworked. Monsters spawn during phase transitions will grant items and experience when slain. So, wait, no, Gardens... I'm not sure which one. It's either the peacock or Izaro's ghost spirit green thing. I'm not sure. I'm confused between the two. But none of these have phases, but since it's reworked, I guess now they do. During the Sunken City boss fight, you'll now encounter monsters which grant experience when slain. Between phase transitions, monsters spawn during Basilica boss fight will also grant items and experience when slain. Thanks. But again, need to drop the number of phases during these encounters overall, in my opinion. It's just taking too long. You just want to move on to the next map, and I'm still gonna not, skip these bosses. I'm pretty sure. Terrace boss fight phase transition got the same treatment. They also take reduced damage for a brief period of time after spawning. Improve the layout of the arena. That's nice. I like the arena, but the layout is terrible, so if it's now more linear, it actually might be a good map for Eldering, because the last, the boss fight, the actual arena, is actually packed with monsters and insane for, like, beyond. So it's something to consider. If it's an actual linear map, arena... wait, no, I'm confused with Pit. So arena is the 3 bosses. But yeah, it's not that high density, so forget about it. But still, could be nice if they improved it in ways that would make it more linear, and you don't have to, split, go left and then go to the right, whatever. Monster spawn behavior also has been adjusted to take less time to activate all the statues and hounds. Oh, that's nice. Because like when you go next to, these statues, they then activate, so if the activation time is shorter, that means you'll be able to kill and move on quickly. Enlarge the area around the Summit map spawn location where monsters shouldn't be able to spawn. Alright, Summit is now lethal because the boss is like tier 15, and it's an insane boss. Even on tier 12, tier 13, that boss will like one shot you. So you really gotta be careful from that meteor. And when he jumps at you, you know, he just leaps coming out of nowhere, just leaps, and then there's a big meteor. So you need to pretty much avoid these two attacks to not get one-shotted. Zana mods. All right. So fortune favors the brave. Nobody cares. Nobody uses it. Nobody should really use it. Alternate the same tier. One Chaos Orb. This is good for early mapping. Rare map 1 to 10. Shaper 1 to 5. Nobody cares. Shaper 1 to 10. Nobody should ever use that really. Elder. Nobody should ever use that really. Abyss for 2 chaos. One additional abyss for 2 chaos. All right. Anarchy. 3 exiles for 2 chaos. I don't understand anarchy ever, but sure. I mean, domination. Shrines for 3 chaos. Bloodlines. Bloodlines for 3 chaos. Ambush. 4 strong boxes for 4 chaos. Perendus for, oh my god, 3 Perendus chests and 4 for 4 chaos. Oh my god. And beyond is 5 chaos. 15% chance to attract. Wow. This is, where's the breach, man? Where's the breach? Why only 1 abyss? I would gladly pay, you know, 4 chaos for 2 abysses. Oh my god. Pretty shit. Early in the league, I would just use the reroll. You know, the Horizon Orb, Zana Horizon Orb. You know, rotate map 1 to 10. Where is it? It's supposed to be 1 chaos. Alternate the same tier. It doesn't specify that it's 1 to 10. Requires a rare map. Opens a random rare map of the same tier, excluding the map you placed in the device. So previously, this was restricted to up to tier 10 maps. I don't see it happening here. And that basically means that red maps are going to be very, very easy to complete. If it's only 1 chaos to get an additional red map of the same tier, we're going to be able to complete our atlas a whole lot quicker. So this is pretty insane early on for map completion. Pretty insane, because red maps, you know, require a little bit. Now you're not going to be able to get your atlas bonus completion because the map has to be corrupted for that, but you're going to be able to add it to the drop pool, and after which it will be able to drop. And, you know, if you're a miner or a trapper, saboteur, you don't even care because you pretty much alkval it and run it with whatever mods it has. So, I mean, awesome. But I don't know, maybe they forgot to add that it's maps 1 to 10. It's hard for me to imagine that they will allow us to, you know, so freely receive red tier maps completed on the Atlas. It's kind of hard to imagine. But yeah, outside of that, 5 chaos for ripping in Beyond, I don't know. I'm not a big fan of that at all. Beyond's pretty rippy and, I mean, pretty decent overall. But there's nothing that I actually see myself using. Perhaps Ambush. Perhaps Perandus. But 4 chaos for 3 additional Perandus chests? I don't know. I don't know. Perhaps 2 chaos for abysses. I think that's the most useful one to use. No harbingers. That sucks. No breaches. These are like the most fun map mods. But yeah, I guess we're going to be able to just use abysses. For 2C, 1 abyss for 2C, seems good. Breaches are still gonna spawn. Harbingers are not gonna spawn naturally. User interface, quest rewards. No breach, probably because Legion is similar. So what? You still want breaches, you still want splinters, you still want the Breach Lord loot, you know, pool. It's still valuable for a lot of builds, like the Breachlord amulets, Zoth, Tal, Ash. Probably less Ash, but you know what I mean. The body armor. Yeah, Ash's Mirror. There are some useful breaches items that people still want for their builds. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. You can get breach stones from the divination cards. It's true. You can get a lot of stuff. Like there are other ways to get it, but breach is simply a very fun league mechanic, and not having it kind of sucks. But with Legion mechanic being what it is, perhaps it's going to be okay. Either way, it's going to be okay. I think I'm just going to be using a whole lot of Abysses. Abysses are very nice to get the extra chance for Leech and the Watcher's Eye Divination card, right? That Samurai's Eye. You can now disable Hell Panel pop-outs in the Hell Panel. Please note that once disabled, you cannot re-enable them for that character. Can I just disable them forever for all characters, for all all forever? Just hover Atlas objectives to see exactly what they mean. Character panel now shows oh, rip, dude. Yeah, I mean, you have to sub for permission to post links, or just ask me before. Burning Blood div card. Yeah, no, it's fine. There are cards, sure. Anyways, PvP changes. Bug fixes. Seems interesting. Well, we went through all of this thing. It took me about an hour and a half to read through all these patch notes. Exciting stuff. Exciting stuff. Yeah, I don't see anything that just kind of pops out to me and play me, except Chieftain Tectonic Slam. But yeah, that's going to have to wait, because I'm most likely just gonna someone tell Moses has been muted for the past hour and a half. No, I was not. But yeah, I mean, I don't know, guys. It looks pretty awesome overall. Bunch of melee changes, buffs across the board to all melee skills. To combat, you're gonna be able to hit multiple enemies. Yeah. Looking forward to Friday night. Of course, on Friday night I have a night shift. Not gonna be canceling that one, unfortunately. But I'm gonna see you on, Saturday afternoon. We're gonna start half a day later. I maybe just gonna end up playing Soul Self-Found in the end. But yeah, I believe that would be it for me for the day. I just came back home from work, right? It's like 9 a.m. Just finished my night shift. Waited for the patch notes to pop off. But yeah, it's the first time I'm actually doing in a read, because it's just relevant. I came back home and they still haven't posted the patch notes, so I figured I might as well read it with you guys, as I'm reading it myself anyways, right? So yeah, but nothing really kind of jumps and says play me, except that Tectonic Slam Chieftain, which seems pretty sweet. Jug could also be pretty sweet and probably better, but yeah, I'm definitely gonna try Tectonic Slam because I haven't played it before, and yeah, I would like to try that. But yeah, there's all sorts of nice ascendancy changes. We're gonna need to, later probably take a look at the tree. They're gonna update, the offline passive skill tree. We're gonna be able to take a look at that later and compare and kind of see what the new nodes are. So yeah, it's gonna be very interesting. You guys, hope you enjoyed this little short broadcast of the reading of the patch notes, and hope to see you guys on Saturday. Thank you for watching, See you guys a bit later. Bye bye, friends. Bye bye.